Good day, YouTube. Once again, welcome to Bishop's Blast. I'm your host, go by the name of Dr. Mebane, where we dive into what I consider a sanitized version of a YouTube channel, where we talk about all things firearms related. Not a subject matter expert by any stretch of the imagination. Just an overtired Navy guy who loves the Lord and has quite the affinity for all things that go boom. At this point in time, we're about to jump into another episode of Bishop's Blast. I do want to give a shout out for all of those that have been rocking with me for a while now, that have continued to do so, and that have already subscribed and liked. I salute you. And for all of you other ones, what you waiting on? Go ahead, hit that subscribe, hit that like, share this with somebody as we go into this edition of Bishop's Blast. Come on, let's get it in. Today, my subject title of the day. You know, I'm gonna go ministerial mode. I'm gonna share with you. The title is "If I Could Only Have One." I have a lot of favorites, but if something happened and they said, "Hey, look, Doc, you could only keep one of those. Which one of those would you keep?" I'm going to be talking about that on today. But before I get into that, you know what it is. Quick EDC check. And what I'm carrying on today, I went way back in the crates on this one. But it's an oldie, but it's a goodie. The Glock 26, the baby fat Glock. Glock 26, 9mm. Good carry gun, a little chunky, but it'll get the job done. The baby fat Glock, Glock 26. If you don't have one, check it out. Now, I'm going to jump into, if I can only have one firearm, which one would I have? Now, I'd have to look at something that was well-rounded enough for me to be able to use it in various different areas of my life. You know, is it something that I can use for home defense? Is it something that I can use for concealed carry? Is it a plinker? Is it something I can take to the range? If I wanted to compete, is it something I could use for competition? Now I have to encapsulate all of that. If you told me I can only have one of those. Now, I'm going to keep it a buck. The thing that I feel most comfortable and most confident when it comes down to defending myself, and this is going to blow most of your mind, to be honest with you, because you know I'm a handgun guy. But if I was going to have one thing that I feel most confident in protecting me, it would be the good old-fashioned, you know what it is. Just by hearing that, it's the 12 gauge. Sometimes you got to bring the 12 gauge on stage when things don't go right. So you can't go wrong with a 12 gauge, even if you're not as accurate as you would like to be. However, I can't take this everywhere. And even if I wanted to continue to take this to the range, after a while, my body can start taking a beating from this 12 gauge. So this was probably not going to be it, even though when it comes down to defending myself, I feel very confident that the 12 gauge would get the job done. Now, you probably think, well, hey, look, he's not going to go with the 12 gauge, and he's a pistol guy. Why not get ahead and try to get and hit one of the AR-15s? This is the AR-15 pistol. However, I won't use this either. This AR-15 pistol, I think it's decent for what it is. I prefer a regular AR. I was just lazy, didn't feel like pulling the other ones out. I prefer a regular AR, or to see if I was going to use an AR pistol, I would probably SBR it and probably put some kind of brace if I was going to do that. I just don't feel like putting in the work for that. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned AR. However, once again, this is not very practical. Pretty efficient, but not very practical. Now, you're not going to use the shotty. You're not going to use an AR variant at all. or an AK for that matter. I could have pulled an AK out. What you gonna use? Let me hit you with my honorable mention, and this is what I consider Old Faithful. This is a thing that used to keep me comfortable at all times. Yeah, I love her, but she comes in number 2, and that is the Glizzy Glock 19. The Glock 19 comes down to reliability, durability. It doesn't get much better than that. And do I feel comfortable utilizing this in a home defense situation? It's got a light on it. Really wish it would have had a optic. That's not the case. Grips well, 9mm. I have enough capacity. I handle it very well. If I drop it, I bang it, I throw it in the water. Glocks just run. So I know you're probably saying, but the Glock 19, old reliable, Old Faithful, is number 2. What's number 1? Well, I'm kind of glad you asked. That being the case, if there was one, somebody put in 1 in the comment section. If there was one, the only thing that I could keep out of all of the ones that I got, I'll be honest with you, if you ask me tomorrow, it might change. But for today, sad to say, it's the Springfield Armory. That's right. It's the Prodigy. Yeah, you can't go wrong with this. It's clear though. Safe direction and shoot. It's the Springfield Armory. It's the Prodigy. Somebody came and jacked me of every last one. I'm probably holding on to this one. The reason is, I think it does everything else well. And because of how I do conceal carry, being I'm an appendix guy, I'd probably go through a couple of holsters, but I've carried firearms that are bigger than a Prodigy, somewhat comfortably. But I'll be honest with you, the grip on this, the slide, this thing is butter. Yeah. And I have a suppressor height sights. And I got an optic on it. Yeah, if you got rid of everything, I probably would hold on to this. I'm extremely accurate. Probably a 2.5, 3 pound trigger. So do I feel comfortable defending myself at home if something go bump in the night? Absolutely. Can I conceal carry it? Absolutely. Plinking wise, it's run from me flawlessly ever since I've had it. No hiccups whatsoever. Well over 3,000 rounds through it. And if I was going to compete, it's probably the closest thing that I've got, me personally, to something that I would compete with and utilize and feel comfortable going head to head. This is a firearm that makes me feel like I'm a better shooter than I really am. So I love taking this to the range and taking this out. It is dressed out with a TLR1 light on it. Between that, the Holosun, the grip. It's so easy to... There's nothing wrong that I can say about this firearm. I know that there was one time it was controversial with some people because of the MEMS parts in it, that it wasn't as good as a staccato. You're right, it's not. But this is what I got. So when it comes down to this would probably be the one I would keep if there was an issue and I had to get rid of all the rest of them. Good thing about it is, that's not my dilemma. So everything that I got, and for all my people from down south, everything I got, I'm keeping, because I collect. But I want to thank each and every one of you for continuing to tune in with me on Bishop's Blast. And continue to please tune in next Tuesday. I try to drop them sometimes in the afternoon. But continue to rock with me concerning Bishop's Blast. We'll get into way more extreme content, especially more so in the new year. But I still want to keep you tapped in. So I want you to continue to stay and rock with me. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in with me to Bishop's Blast. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Continue to stay tuned and be blessed. Talk to you later.